What does a girl look for in a guy?
Money. Money, you know what I'm saying?
That's it, just money.
And looks a little bit.
Fellas, how much more proof do you need, bruh? Like, granted, money might be one of the bigger aspects in a relationship, but to say that's all you're looking for really shows all men out there, because this video is viral, that you're a rather short-sighted individual, which no one really wants. Look, man, the reality is this. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't teach you how to make money, but I can tell you how to save money, and that's by not getting into a relationship with these. What do you think? Am I wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my show. Peace.
Modern women want it all. They don't just want looks. They want the big, tall, good-looking guy who's in the gym, who has the money, who's letting them travel, who's letting them shop. They want it all. And the problem with that is that social media is feeding the expectations that they can have it all. That is the reason why social media has really affected relationships.
They used to say a happy wife means a happy life. Today they say, no wife means a happy life. Things have changed both for men and women. What once was, is not today. Women want everything. They want the Kardashian life. They want what Instagram and TikTok tell them they want. They want the perfect guy who's nothing less than a millionaire. Even then, they're not going to be loyal. They're loyal to society, peer pressure, and their impulses and emotions.
I think a lot of these modern women want like the NBA star wife life, right? They're looking for like a guy who makes a lot of money. They're looking for like a setup, right? Their house is like they have the big old house, the beautiful car. They've got the husband who makes a lot of money, but they want their flexibility. They want to be able to work a little bit or not work a little bit. They want no real responsibility in the house, though. They want that guy who makes a lot of money to provide a chef so she doesn't have to do the cooking, and to have a nanny so she doesn't have to be running around with the kids all day. She wants like a Kardashian life.
Guys, let me tell you something. No woman in my life ever lost sleep about putting me in a nicer and safer home with a better neighborhood. No woman ever thought about taking me away on a nice summer vacation to recharge and relax. No woman thought about making more money so I don't have to call someone else's boss. No woman ever took out $1 million life insurance policy on herself so I won't struggle if she dies. Women, not all, but most, have no clue or give a shit about the sacrifices men make and what comes naturally to use to create a nice life for them. Cheers to all the men who do all of this for women with honor.
Every woman that has laid down with the 5 to 10% man, there is another woman who was raised in similar circumstances or worse that made a different decision. So that's where your accountability is, because you can have all the excuses, society, everybody, all of this, but there is another person out there that made a different and a better choice. Just because you were born in that, then you have to say, why did they make a better choice and I chose to do this?
Gentlemen, listen up. These women are not stupid. Their strategy is to borrow money to dress well, borrow money for a nice car, borrow money to attend fashionable restaurants and bars, and to bump into a man who has been working and building capital for the last 10, 15 years. The man convinces himself that the hard work is paying off, and he is finally getting to meet the upper class, but it's just the lower class with a lot of debt.
Once I'm with you, if I trust in you with my body, why can't I trust you with my money?
Can I ask a question?
My money, not until I finish talking though. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter because I ain't finished.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because as far as I'm concerned, my body is more valuable to me than money. And I don't understand why women, they will share their bodies, but they don't want to share their money. So as far as I'm concerned, she's out there sharing her body to, if we go by that OnlyFans, whatever's on there, my viewers, hang on a minute, she's out there sharing her whole body to the whole world. How many people? But she won't share the money with the man.
Every woman I ever dated had the same carefree attitude about money, and to be honest, I did too for a while. All it took was watching how the older members of my family ended up realizing that I had to eliminate debt and prioritize retirement savings immediately. The sad part is that the debt these people incur is for frivolous items that will be used for a fraction of the time that it actually takes to pay them off. There's going to be an epidemic of destitute elderly single women in the near future because of this.
What would you want his income to be?
I feel like this is gonna sound bad. I feel like 300,000. I would have to say 127.
Probably 150 to $250,000 a year.
$500,000. Is that bad?
150, maybe to 250,000 a year would be comfortable for sure.
I was just having this conversation with my friend, and she was like, you have to manifest a husband, girl. Ideally, my husband needs to be making like 650,000.
So you said you want 500K, but what do you think the median income is for a 30-year-old?
60K? 70K?
It is $45,000.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I think it's 250,000.
It's 52,000.
What? No, it's not. Damn, America.
Here's an interesting story about a high-earning woman in debt, and how because of her habits, she refused to help herself and get out of debt. Instead, she kept on relying on her boyfriend to always help her out. I'm glad he's moved on. My ex was in considerable credit card debt before we got married. I helped her clear those debt twice. She had a high-paying, stable job in one of the top companies in the world, but she spent more than what she earned. A decade after our marriage ended, she is in a much bigger hole. I tried to guide her out of it, but she won't listen. I realized I had to stop helping her because she would keep doing the same things that got her in trouble. I am just enabling her to avoid consequences. She might also take me down with her. Now I have no debt. I own properties, mortgage-free. I lead a minimalist lifestyle. My last job allowed me to save money enough to stop working for a year. I'm on track towards getting another high-paying job whenever I choose to. One of the main things that held me back was trying to fix problems my ex caused. Women don't understand that the market will dictate your value. You are no different than a car. You're worth what people are willing to pay, and when you can't bag the men that you want, that means you're low value. If I can't afford a certain car out of my pay bracket, I will have to settle for one that I can afford. It's just how the world works. If you're a Honda Civic but think you're a Bugatti, don't be surprised when you sit on the lot collecting dust.
Typically, these modern women, by the way, they want to be the boss all the time unless something has to get paid for. You'll see it. You'll see it when the checks come. You'll see it. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, your money is our money, but my money is my money. You'll hear it. You will hear it. So make a decision. Do you want to be a boss? Do you want to be an equal to the man? Because if you do, then you better get ready to split that bill. You better get ready to do a lot of stuff that you're not going to want to do. Okay? Equal is equal. If that's what you want. Maybe you'll find a guy out there that's going to hand it to you, but I will tell you, you will be deeply, deeply unhappy. You'll be running to be a damsel in distress so fast, you'll be like, where's that handkerchief I can wave outside my window? Someone come save me, please. I was wrong.
Ladies, it's about time sampling. You had lots of time in your younger years to hang out, meet, and get to know people in order to learn how to be compatible with others. Instead of doing that, you partied and spread your legs. Maybe you have a kid or two to show for it. Now older and likely working your butt off, not only do you have little time for time sampling, you're likely short on energy and may have to focus more on your kids, and therefore your value as a mate is significantly less. Ladies, you blew it. Men know their worth also, and that's why they won't mess with single mothers, because those women will never acknowledge the men's worth. They want to expect the man to prioritize them, but will never prioritize the man. And as a stepfather, you have all of the responsibility of a father, but none of the authority. I wish I would have known that before I married a single mother.
Women have been placed on such a high pedestal in society that there's just a sense of entitlement and they feel no need to reciprocate anything back to men. It's like the video I reacted to recently with the WNBA, acknowledging the fact that the WNBA is basically a business that makes no profit and it is funded by the NBA. The women were so entitled, there wasn't even a degree of gratefulness from the women towards the men to say, well, do you know what, thank you for funding this anyway, thank you for funding me to basically live out my dream, despite the fact I'm not making you any more money. Women are just put on such a high pedestal, and yeah, it's just entitlement.
Let me ask you this, ladies. If a guy meets all your requirements, drives a $100K car, makes $1 million a year, is 6'5" tall, wears all the ice and rocks, and buys you a ridiculously expensive ring, are you now willing to be 100% his wife? And do, act, or wear whatever he tells you? You aren't the only ones with expectations, so you have to be prepared for it to go both ways.
A few months ago, I took my parents to court for having me without my permission, and I won, so the court ordered them to give me $5,000 a month to cover my basic living expenses. Well, they went and had that appealed. So now they don't have to give me any money, and I have to go get a job. And I'm realizing, Like, I don't have any work experience or any higher education. Nowhere's paying me $5,000 a month. So how the hell am I supposed to be able to afford my bills? Like, what? Don't have children if you don't want to support them.
Even when men spend half their salary on women through court-ordered payouts, they often see someone else get the goods whilst they get nothing themselves. Men are tired of paying women for nothing, and then seeing Chad or Tyrone steal their reward. The fact that women feel entitled might be understandable from some aspects, but the fact that they feel too entitled, which means they feel entitled just because that's how it is the topic of discussion and debate here. And it is even more so because society has jumped on the woke feminist bandwagon that calls for equality in every aspect of life, and yet still continues to support women to feel entitled to everything a man does, earns, and produces is just perplexing, to say the least. I hope that women realize the hypocrisy with which they live, expecting everything to be taken care of on one hand, and then marching the streets with banners for equality on the other. There's no end to it, and it frequently succeeds with weak men. They are primarily chasing one thing, and they will put up with abuse solely for the sake of that one thing, which we all know. Thus, they fall for the manipulative tactics of women, both intentionally and unknowingly. Therefore, it is best for males to keep their distance from such women who you are aware will exploit and manipulate you to fulfill the expectations that they feel entitled to. Somewhere along the line, I think everyone must have thought about why women always expect everything to be done by the man. I mean, even in long-term relationships, the guy is supposed to do the tough housework and provide for the entire family. Where did the woke feminists go now? What happened to equality, right? Throughout their lives, men are supposed to do everything for women and literally dedicate their lives to providing for, protecting, and helping women. And you know what? Men do that with honor. They do it proudly because that's in their nature. I'm talking about high-value men, not a simp who starts crying if he gets rejected by a girl. But the question is, why is it that women expect everything from a man, especially when all they can do now is talk about equality and how men have oppressed them and controlled them? Modern women have indeed become too entitled. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.